Hello everyone, myself is Dr. Ganesh Chandra Chattopadhyay, Faculty of Management Studies from Technia Institute of Advanced Studies. I am going to present my lecture on cash flow statement. Now, it is one of the financial analysis tool which we use to know the financial strength of a particular concern. Now, what do you mean by cash? Before going to cash flow analysis, cash comprises cash on hand and deposits with bank. Now, cash equivalents, that would also come as a cash flow or cash balance, that is short-term, highly liquid investments, readily convertible into cash and insignificant risk of changes in the value. That means if we like to get anything converted into cash, there should be very minimum risk. Cash flow statement, we mention what is it. Cash flow statement provides information on cash inflow and outflow of an enterprise for a given period. An important technique for short-term solvency of a firm, cash flow from operating activities is the key indicator for the survival of the company. However, the cash flow analysis is made mandatory from 1st April 2001 in conformity with Accounting Standard 3. However, April 2016, it has become mandatory to follow Indian Accounting Standard 7, which is a modified version of IAS 7. Now, actually what happens, the PL account based upon accrual concept. So, we cannot reveal what is the cash flow from there. So, cash flow statement enables the availability of cash to meet business obligations when required. It gives an overview of sources and uses of cash for the particular accounting period. It gives a true picture of a particular concern, that is availability of cash in case of short-term debt payment and short-term solvency position of a particular concern. Cash inflow particularly, very important for the SIC industry, where sometimes they feel the loss, cash loss. Then that means from the operating activities, a company first has to make the cash inflow. Otherwise, they would feel very problem in running their concern. So, it is very important particularly for the SIC industry. Now, I am going to explain what constitutes the cash flow analysis. Different activities are there. If you go through the cash book, you will see cash book, credit side and debit side. Debit side particularly comes all the receipts, and the payment side comes all the payments. Now see, particularly if you go to analyze the cash book, you will see there are three types of transactions. One is operating transactions. Operating means that it is cash spent or cash earning from the main activities of the business. That means, for example, if it is a furniture house, for example, so then that means the trader would purchase furnitures and sell furniture. So that is their main activity. If in case of it is a bank, so you will see their main activity is giving loan and taking loan from the public, and by the way they make interest and they do pay interest. So it is their main activity. So by operating activities, that means it is the main and principal revenue producing activity of an enterprise. For certain examples are there. So receipts from the sale of goods, rendering services, payments for the purchases, payment to the employees on account of salaries, wages, etc., payment of income tax for the income earned by a concern. Now see, from the operating activities, we get what is the cash inflow or cash outflow. That to measure that cash inflow from the operating activity, actually we follow two methods. One is direct method. In direct method, actually the major classes of gross cash receipts and gross cash payments are disclosed. It is obtained all the information from the accounting statement, that is profit loss account, etc. And then indirect method actually the following items or certain items are deducted from the profit or loss from the concern. It is before charging tax. These are the adjustments to be done. One is non-cash items like depreciation, changes in current assets and liabilities. That is, for example, there is changes in say creditors, changes in debtors balances, changes in bill receivable or changes in bills payable. Changes means that there is a change between the year, say first year to second year, either positive change or the negative change. So these are the adjustments to be adjusted with the profit before tax to get the operating cash from the operating activities. Now I am going to explain second one, the cash flow from investing activities. So by investment, some of you have prepared already the balance sheet. Balance sheet, that asset side comes what, and the liability side what comes. In the liability side, we say usually the sources of fund. That means where from you get the money. And the asset side, you see how you have utilized your fund. That means the investment. Now that whenever I talk to cash flow from investing activities, that means how you have spent your total cash for acquisition or purchase of different type of assets, and especially it is long-term assets. So you see later on, actually the cash flow from investing activities, usually it comes negative. Means more we purchase, and say sometimes we make certain loss on account of sale of fixed assets, etc. Certain examples on that: payment to acquire fixed assets like plant, property, equipment, etc. Receipts from disposal of fixed assets, means by selling. Payments for acquisition of investments, mean long-term investments and or business acquisitions. Then cash advances or loans given to other firms or other institutions. Recovery of cash advances and loans, etc. Even the dividend received, whenever you do purchase, say shares, or whenever you do invest money into bank, by purchasing shares you can get dividend, and by investing money into the bank you can get interest. So these are all related to investing activities. We will come and we will take all the items under the investing activities. Third one is cash flows from financing activities. It relates to such activities that result in changing the quantum and composition of the owner's capital and debt capital of the enterprise. Just I have mentioned earlier that if you know balance sheet, that is the liability side is the source of fund. Therefrom you know how you have acquired funds. It may be certain amount from your owner or the proprietor of the business. If it is a company, you can get by the way of selling shares to the public. And another thing, that debt fund, that is you have borrowed money from maybe any financial institutions or any concern. Certain examples: cash proceeds from issue of shares, cash proceeds from issuing debentures and other long-term borrowings, cash repayment of amount borrowed, payment of interest, dividend. Simple thing. If you issue shares and get the fund, so that means you have to pay dividend on account of the acquisition of money by selling shares. Now, if you take loan from the bank, so then you have to pay interest. That is a simple thing, you do understand. Now you see the slide where you will see the format. I am going to explain one after another. That is, first is operating activities, that under indirect method. Under indirect method, I have already mentioned that we start from profit before tax. With the profit before tax, you have to add any non-cash expenses like depreciation, any non-operating expenses like interest expenses, like loss on sale of assets. Then you deduct non-operating income, because that is not from the main activities or main operating activities, as I mentioned earlier. So it is like, say you have earned non-operating income like interest earned, dividend earned, like gain on sale of assets. The sale of assets usually that comes under the investments. So that means sale of assets that would come under investment head but not in operating head. Now with that, that all the current assets and current liabilities is related to the operating activities. So that's why any increase or decrease in current assets, current liabilities, that would also reflect in the operating activities and cash flow from operating activities. Like, say, decrease in current assets, that will be added to the cash flow from operating activities. Why? Now, decrease in cash flow, decrease in current assets. Say, for example, one item is, say, stock. Now, stock decrease means you are selling stock. So, by selling, no doubt, you get the fund. So, that's why it will be added. Similarly, increase in current liabilities. Increase in current liabilities means you are purchasing certain goods on credit. So, that means it is a way of making money later on. You got, say, stock on credit, means you are not paying. So, cash has not gone out. but you are getting a scope of getting that particular item sold to the general public or the customers. Now question is that even if you are not having cash, you did not have cash to purchase the stock, but by selling you are having the scope, by selling the stock you are getting money. So that's why it also increase the cash flow from operating activities. But similarly, decrease in current liabilities, decrease in current, say bills payable or some creditors, that means you are paying to the suppliers. So in that case, simple thing, you can understand that cash is going out. That's why it will be deducted from operating activities cash flow. Another very important item is income tax paid. That income tax paid means tax paid on your income. Now income, main income is earned from your main activity or revenue producing, main and principal revenue producing activity, that is operating activities. That's why income tax to be deducted from the operating activities. Similarly, now I am going to explain on the investing activities. So I have already discussed something on it, but again I am going that format wise I am discussing. Let's say one example, purchase of fixed assets, acquisition of investments, loans and advances given, sale of fixed assets, sale of investments, loans and advances recovered. That will be added up. Similarly, interest received, whenever you have deposited funds somewhere, so you get interest, so that would come here. Dividend received by purchasing shares of certain companies, so now you get the dividend, so dividend to be added up. Then by selling assets, you get money, that will also be added up. Now third one is financing activities. Financing activities, that means how you acquire the funds from the outside or the general public or the say lenders. Now that is issue of shares, issue of debentures, loan taken. These are actually the added item that would inflow. Similarly, the outflow would be by the way of redemption of debentures, repayment of loan, that means fixed loan. Okay, interest paid means whenever you have acquired funds, so then you need to pay interest, so that interest paid. Dividend paid, whenever you have acquired fund by issuing shares, so that means you have to pay dividend, so that dividend paid to be deducted. Similarly, now if you pay say certain tax on dividend paid, that is called dividend distribution tax, so that dividend distribution tax also to be deducted from the financing activities, cash flow from financing activities. So that way we do explain. Now we will discuss the procedures for the preparation of cash flow statement. That like you see, whenever you go to a cash book, you see cash book starts with the opening balance and cash book ends with the closing balance. So sometimes it comes to your mind or our mind how the cash balance has increased. For example, opening balance of cash rupees 10,000 and the closing balance of cash at the end of a particular year say 30,000. So opening balance was 10,000 and closing balance is 30,000. What is the difference? Now 20,000. 30,000 minus 10,000 is 20,000. That is increase in cash balance. Now simple question comes to your mind, how that has increased the balance. So that how that has increased, we have to explain that all the activities you see in the receipt side and the payment side, but that would be now taken under three groups. That means what is the net effect from operating activities or net cash flow from operating activities, net cash flow from investing activities and net cash flow from financing activities. So that three activities, whatever produces cash, that would be summed up. With that, we will add opening cash balance and certainly it will come the closing cash balance of what we see at the end of the year. That must be equal. That means net increase in cash, what we get 30,000 minus 10,000, that is 20,000. So that 20,000, that difference must come from the three activities, the net result of the three activities, that means cash flow from operating activities, cash flow from financing activities and cash flow from investing activities. If you add that three, the net result must be equal with the difference in the cash balance. After producing that cash flow analysis, certain things you do remember or certain things you have to disclose. If you see any cash from extraordinary items, even if it does not affect the cash flow here, but it should be disclosed separately. If it is a very extraordinary like operating, investing, finance, it should be shown separately. Now tax paid to be classified as tax flow from operating activities, I have already mentioned, unless it is mentioned only for other purposes that may be related to investing or other related. If nothing mentioned, so we will take tax paid means tax paid on income, that is main income from the main business. Some significant non-cash transactions also to be done separately elsewhere in the financial statements, like investing and financing transactions that do not require use of cash. Sometimes you acquire cash, sometimes you acquire certain business, and by the way of issuing shares, by the way of issuing debentures, etc. So these are not cash transactions, so but it may affect your decision making, so that should be shown separately. And then components of cash and cash equivalents that must be reconciled and from the cash flow analysis, whatever you get, that you will see with the equivalent items that is reported in the balance sheet, that must be equal with the cash flow analysis, whatever we do there. Now you see this slide where you can see the one cash flow statement. You see, first item is there, it is a comparison between A Limited and B Limited. It is given their opening balance of A 18,000 and opening balance of cash in case of B Limited 20,000. But cash flow from operating activities, that is receipts from the sale of goods, it is for A it is 5,000 and for B it is 30,000. Then cash from other investing activities, it is for A 20,000 and for B 3,000. Cash from financing activities, for A it is 20,000 and for B Limited it is 2,000. Now closing balance, you see, in case of A it is 63,000, in case of B it is 55,000. Now you are asked actually to say which company is better performing and which company is very stronger than the other. The simple thing, you know, that your main cash producing activity is operating activities. That means it is your own strength. So simple thing, if you take any help from anybody, say for example, you are given your responsibility to run your family. Now that to run your family, you have to get certain cash to meet the expenses. Now see, there are, I am saying, three sources where from you get the cash. First one is you are employed, so you are earning, and from that money you are spending for your family. Number one. Second option is you have different friends and you are taking borrow, means you are taking loan from the friends and you are running your family. Second option. And third option is, say you have enough properties your father has given, you are selling one after another assets and getting money and running family. Now students, you say which one is your stronger? So simple thing, you do understand that by earning money and running family, so you need not to depend anybody and need not to wait for that. So that is your main strength. So to measure the performance of a particular company, whether it is stronger than the other, it is actually many and very important identified point is income from operating activities. So in that case, you see, A Limited is earning only 5,000 from operating activities, and for B Limited it is cash flow from operating activities 30,000. So you do understand that B Limited no doubt is stronger than the A Limited, even if in the question it is told that A Limited is stronger than the B Limited because A is having more cash inflow, but still B Limited is having more cash inflow from operating activities which specifies its own strength. So we can say B Limited is more stronger than the A Limited. See, I am going to explain first very simple way by taking one example from cash book. See, that question reads like, given below the cash book for the year 2014-15, and now you are asked to prepare cash flow statement from the above information, reconciling closing balance of cash as per accounting standard 3. Now see, in the receipt side there is opening balance 10,000, credit side the closing balance you just see it is 27,500. As I told earlier, there is a difference between opening balance and the closing balance. Opening balance was 10,000 and closing balance is 27,500. That means you see there is an increase in cash balance 17,500. Now no doubt there would be curiosity to know how that 17,500 had come. Now since the debit side so many entries and the credit side so many entries, so first thing here, all the activities, all the transactions to be divided in three heads. One is operating, another is investing, other one is financing. Now let me say about, all of you, main activity is selling of goods, means purchase and sale of goods. That is first point in the debit side, you see sale of goods, that is operating activities. The collection from debtors, debtors comes from by selling goods on credit and then collection. So it is no doubt it is also the operating activities. Similarly, under operating activities, what else would come in the credit side? That is a purchase of goods, that is payment. Then again purchase will come the salary paid, accounts payable paid, means that we have paid money to the supplier. Then salary paid, it is actually monthly. Everybody do understand salary or wages we pay monthly. So it is meant to run the business. And then stationary expenses. So these are the items would come under operating activities. I will show separately there. Now I am just discussing. Then you see that comes in the debit side again you see it is given the loan from bank. So loan from bank means it is to acquire fund to run your business. So it is the finance. So source of finance, it would come under financing activities. Next one, see loan from friend. The loan from friend would come also under financing activities. Then will come similarly in the credit side you go. Now whenever you have taken loan, so no doubt you have to pay interest. So that's why here the by interest paid, that would come under financing activities. Now again you come back to the debit side. You see next item is sale of assets. So sale of assets relate to investment, so it would come under investing activities. Similarly, dividend received where from you get? Now you have invested money by purchasing shares. So you see in the credit side it is written there by purchase of shares. So by purchase of shares, from there you have get the dividend received. So purchase of shares would come also under investing activities, and then dividend received also would come under investing activities. Similarly, you have invested money into bank. So bank deposit comes under investing activities, especially it is long term investment, for example. So then interest received, what you see in the debit side, that would also come under the investing activities. So that way we do discuss. One item was left in the debit side, that is the commission. So commission actually we get for any day-to-day transactions or doing certain job on behalf of some concern, say by selling their product on behalf of them. Sometimes you see in the bank counter, a certain banker are selling the insurance product. So though it is not the main duty of the banker to sell the insurance product, but now it has come under bank assurance. So bank is doing certain insurance activities. By the way, they are getting certain commission or that amount. So that would also nowadays coming under their activities. So that would come under operating activities. Now we will discuss all these three activities in the short form. How cash has come from the operating activities and come from investing and the financing activity. You see first the column where I have shown that is the inflow. I have already discussed there that main income producing items would come. See sale of goods, it is the inflow. Collection from debtors, inflow. Commission received is inflow of cash. The total inflow of cash you see 1,08,000. Similarly, outflow of cash from operating activities, see purchase of goods 60,000, accounts payable payment 10,000, salary paid 10,000, stationery expenses 5,000. So that means total payment is 85,000. Now 1,08,000 minus 85,000, that comes net cash from operating activities 23,000, and that is the positive, that is inflow. Now come to the investing activities. Under investing activity inflow, and inflow is sale of assets, it is 5,000. Interest received 5,000, that interest means you deposited into bank, from there you received interest. So then you purchase shares, you got the dividends, so dividend received 2,000. Total receipt is 12,000, that means inflow, and total outflow you get purchase of shares 10,000, purchase of assets 15,000, bank deposit 20,000. So total payment is 45,000. That means net cash from investing activities is A minus B, it comes minus 33,000. It is actually net outflow, and it is by simple actually investing activities would always, maximum time would give you the negative inflow, because we acquire more assets, so we expand our business, we open different branches, by that way you need to purchase different assets, etc., and that usually gives you the negative balance. Now financing activity, you see how you have acquired funds and for which you have whatever you have paid. Acquisition of fund we have discussed, there is loan from bank 20,000, loan from friend 10,000, so total inflow is 30,000, outflow on account of interest paid 2,500, so net cash from financing activity it is 27,500. It is also positive, because again it is the simple thing that you are acquiring funds usually, so usual case you will see it is the positive figure. So in that case it is 27,500. Now in short form cash flow statement, whatever we have discussed, what I want to say here. Now see, first step is opening balance of cash, it was 10,000, then you add net cash flow from operating activities as decided, it is 23,000 positive, then net cash from investing activities it is negative 33,000 has come, then again you see net cash from financing activities it is 27,500. So that means that way you get closing balance of cash as given in your cash book, it is 27,500, you get the net result, it has come by that way. Now if you would like to reconcile it, just see net difference in cash, that is increase in cash balance, it was 17,500, and net cash flow from all the activities, it is 23,000 from operating activities minus 33,000 from investing activities, and again positive from financing activity is 27,500, that means net result is 17,500. Students, what I told that our objective was to reconcile how the 17,500, the difference in the cash has come. Now we have got the difference has come on account of three activities, and the net result is also positive, that is 17,500. So that is the reconciliation that has to be disclosed as per our accounting standard. Now IND means Indian Accounting Standard 7 under the report. Now my students, you just see I have already discussed in the simple way how cash flow statement done from your cash book. Now actually you will be given that your balance sheet of a particular company, say 2 years balance sheet figures are there. Your main objective would be to get the difference between the balance, say for example share capital from 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs, so 2 lakhs has increased. That is multiple choice type question. For example, first question, which of the following categories is not used to classify cash flows in cash flow statement? Means the activities you have to identify here which does not come under cash flow statement. First one is managing activities, second one is operating activities, third investing activities, fourth one financing activities. Can you say me which item is not matching with that? See, we have discussed already operating activities, investing activities and financing activities that come under cash flow. So it is actually the managing activities that is identified that would not reflect in cash flow statement. Second question, which of the following items will not appear in the cash flow from operating activities section when used or using the direct method? Payment to employees, payments to suppliers, payment collection from customers, and then the net income. Can you say me which out of the four, which one the right answer? See, yes, it is actually the net income, because whenever we do follow indirect method, there we start profit before tax, the first item. So in case we follow indirect method, then net income would come. But in case of direct method of cash from operating activities, net income would not come. It is the payment to employees, payment to suppliers, payment to customers, etc. that would come under direct method. Third question, can you say which of the following items not considered as cash or cash equivalent? First one, cash on hand, second, demand deposits, third, bank borrowings, fourth one, investments with a maturity of 2 months from the date of acquisition. Can you say me which is the right point? Yes, I think you do understand. Cash on hand, it is simple, it is on your hand, that would come under cash. Demand deposits also as you demand, so immediately you can get cash. But investments with a maturity of 2 months from the date of acquisition, that would also come under the cash flow statement, because here usually taken the 3 months that duration. within which it has to be converted into cash. But that is the C, point C, that is bank borrowings. Usually bank borrowings is nothing mentioned about it. Usually we take it long-term borrowings. So long-term borrowings cannot come under the cash flow, because cash flow itself gives you the short-term solvency, the measurement for the short-term solvency. So bank borrowings for the long-term purpose usually does not reflect in that. Next question, you just get prepared. Now the fourth question, all of the following would be included in a company's operating activities except. So we have to say which is that point which cannot be taken under operating activities. It is income tax payment, collection from customers, third one cash payments to suppliers, and dividend payment. Can you say me which one out of that four is the right answer? Think about it. I think you can get. Yeah, it is actually the dividend payments. So dividend payments, how do you get? Dividend payment means whenever you have issued shares, then you got the share capital. So that come under the financing activities. Share issue come under the financing activity. That means you have acquired funds. So that means dividend payments, it is actually you can say the child of the share issued. If share issue is the parent, for example, or say you mother, the mother is say share issued. By the way, you have acquired capital. If mother is share issued, so no doubt it her child, that is dividend payments, on account of that it would also be under that category. That means investing activities. It is financing activities. So that means it would not come under operating activities. Fifth question, as per the accounting standard 3, cash flow is classified into operating activities and investing activities, second investing activities and financing activities, third operating activities and financing activities, fourth one operating activities, financing activities and investing activities. Can you say me? Yes, that is clear, because we have already discussed that cash flow statement takes three activities under it. One is operating activities, financing activities and investing activities. So you do understand it is the option D which is the right answer. Now sixth question, the objectives of cash flow statements are analysis of cash position, B short-term cash planning, C evaluation of liquidity, D comparison of operating performance. Can you say which one or all of them is the answer? Think about it. Simple thinking, it can give you answer. Yes, it is the D, where all the activity here, analysis of cash position, it does, cash flow statement, short-term cash planning, it is itself, it is inbuilt, it is the main objective of the cash flow statement is the short-term cash planning or cash flow analysis. Evaluation of liquidity, that means mainly it is short-term liquidity, and then comparison operating performance, because main activity is operating, so we do. So that means it is actually the fourth option, A, B, C, D, mean all the items would come under cash flow statement or objective of the cash flow statement are the four actually here. See next item, that is seventh. In cash flow statement, the item of interest is shown. See, it is the interest. You have to identify it would come under which activity? Operating activities, B financing activities, C investing activities. Now what would be your answer? It is operating activities, financing activities, investing activities, or both A and B, both A and C, both B and C, and A, B, C. Which one? Think about it. I think you do understand and can get the answer. No, it's wrong answer. It is not the D. It is actually the C. That means the activity would come both B and C. B means actually that interest can be shown under financing activities, it may come, and interest may come under the C. That means that investing activities. So interest is shown under B and C. That means financing activities and investing activities. How? We know. One is interest paid whenever you do acquire certain fund from the bank. So you have acquired your capital, borrowed capital, so you need to pay. So financing, acquisition of fund is financing. So no doubt its child, that would also come under the financing activity. So interest paid would come under financing activity. Similarly, for D, investing activity. How is it? Now whenever you do invest certain money into bank, say by the way of long-term investment, so no doubt its child is also again interest received. In that case you get the interest received, interest. So that also come under the investing activity. So it would come both under B and C. That means investing activities as well as the financing activities. 8th question. Which of the following statements are true? When cash flow reveals only the inflow of cash, cash flow reveals only the outflow of cash, cash flow is the substitute for income statement, cash flow statement is not a replacement of funds flow statement. Which one is the correct answer? You have to say. Think about it. I think you can catch. Yeah, it is actually the only D. That means cash flow statement not a replacement of funds flow statement. That is the true. Understand? So, but the other question, cash flow reveals only the inflow of cash. It is wrong because cash flow statement reveals cash inflow as well as cash outflow. So, it is wrong. Similarly, cash flow is a substitute of income statement. It is also wrong because cash flow itself is a part of financial analysis. So, that cannot compensate or that cannot be a substitute for income statement. Income statement means profit and loss account, or income statements in case of non-trading concern, it is a income and expenditure account. So it can never be like, so it is the only D. That means cash flow statement is not a replacement of fund flow statement. It is the true answer. Next question, cash flow statement is based upon dash, while funds flow statement recognizes that. Can you say out of that 4 options, which one is correct? Cash flow statement is based upon cash basis of accounting. Fund flow statement recognizes accrual basis of accounting. Second option, accrual basis of accounting, that means cash flow, and cash basis of accounting in case of fund flow. Whether both are based on cash basis of accounting. And D, none of the above. Can you say me? If you think, I think you can do, because you have taught earlier fund flow statement where you have seen how we prepare the funds. Yeah, it is A. That is cash flow statement mostly based on cash basis of accounting. Whereas fund flow statement takes accrual basis of accounting, that is mercantile system. Thank you. Next. Now my 10th question. It is matching. Match the column. First column is taxes paid, and then second is repayment of loans, then sale of fixed assets. So here ABC, and other side is 1, 2, 3. Number 1 is cash flow from investing activities, second cash flow from operating activities, then cash flow from financing activities. You have to match between that. Yes, we have already discussed that tax paid comes under the cash flow from operating activities. So it is the option A. For A, tax paid, it is the cash flow from operating activities. For B, it is the repayment of loan that comes under the cash flow from financing activities, and sale of fixed assets is related to the investing activities. Then 11th question, in indirect method, net cash flow from operating activities is calculated on the basis of net profit after tax, net profit before tax, both A and B, none of the above. Yeah, it is simple. They are both of the above or none of the above, it is not the true. And net profit after tax, it is not the true. The right answer is the net profit before tax, because tax paid is also shown under the payment on account of operating activities. Next question is, which of the following are cash flow from investing activities? The investing activity relate to, for the acquisition of assets and for all that, or selling of assets like. So interest received, dividend received, sale of fixed assets and purchase of fixed assets. You have to say which one is correct. Yes, it is correct. It is a D item here. In that case means all the activities here, whatever given, they are all come under investing activities. Now next question, which of the following are cash flow from financing activities? It is interest received, dividend received, interest paid, dividend paid. Yes, it is the answer C. Why? Because interest received and dividend received, it is we get by way of investing somewhere. But here our question is financing activity. So it is interest paid. By the way, whenever we take loan from bank, we pay interest. And whenever we issue shares, we get fund. For that we have to pay dividend. So both interest paid and dividend paid, that means option C is the right answer. Next question, in case of financial enterprises, remember it is a financial enterprises, not the other enterprise. The cash flow resulting from interest and dividend received and interest paid should be classified as cash flow from operating activities, financing activities, investing activities, or none of the above. Which one is correct answer? Yeah, it is operating activities, because financial enterprise, the main objective is to give loan and take loan. So by the way, they pay interest and they received dividend also. In case they invest money in some shares of certain companies, they get dividend. So it is, that would come under operating activities. Next question, when a fixed asset is bought as a hire purchase, interest element is classified under dash, which one? And loan element is classified under dash, which one? First one is asset bought on hire purchase, interest element is operating activities and loan payment is financing activities. B, it is interest payment is financing activities and loan payment is investing activities. Third one, investing activities, operating activities, and D, none of the above. Which one is the correct? It is actually the B. That means interest paid comes under financing activities, whereas loan element for the on account of the assets value, so that come under investing activities. So it is the option B is right answer. Interest is financing activities and loan payment comes under investing activities. And last question, which of the following is not a cash flow? Increase in prepaid expenses, increase in debtors, increase in stock, increase in creditors. Which one is not cash outflow? Now it is wrong answer. Option C is not the correct answer, it is the D, that is increase in creditors. That means increase in prepaid expense means you have paid in advance, so it is outflow. Increase in debtors means you have sold certain goods on credit again, so that means you have used your money, so it is also outflow. Increase in stock means you have purchased more stock, so it is outflow of cash. But only the last, the D, increase in creditors. Increase in creditors means you have taken certain goods on credit basis and you got the scope of selling that goods in cash. I told earlier, I discussed, so it is increase in creditors is the right answer. Now see, I am giving certain items. Only you have to identify and say which items come under financing activities, which item come under operating activities, and which come under investing activities. First one is cash received against trade receivables. Can you say me either operating, financing or investing? Yeah, it is actually main activity, so it would come under operating activity because it is trade receivables, means you sold goods on credit, you got the debtors, by changing debtors you got the money and got the money, or in that case you got the bill from them. So then after bill you get the cash by encashing receivables, or at the maturity time you got the cash from the receivables. So it is operating activities related to main business. Cash paid against trade payables. Trade payable means creditors. So creditors related to your main activity or operating activity. So cash paid against trade payable is the operating activity. Acquisition of inventories. Yeah, inventories is actually for the selling purposes. You are purchasing goods for sale purposes. When your objective is sell goods, so that means it comes under operating activity. So acquisition of inventory is operating activity. Now similarly, realization from sundry debtors. Sundry debtors you got from, how you have got? Now by selling goods you got the sundry debtors on credit basis. Now whenever you do realize or collect money from the debtors, so no doubt operating activities. Now decrease in short term loan, which one? Operating, financing or investing? Yes, it is also operating activity. Why? Now short term loan. The short term loan usually for 2 months, 3 months, 15 days or like that. It is mainly required for day to day maintenance of your main business. So that's why it would come under operating activity. And similarly, if any interest is paid on that, so that would also come under operating activity. Usually we have told that whenever you do pay interest, usually interest paid on financing. Because you borrowed money usually for long term. So whenever you take long term, so that interest payment would come under the financing activity. But in that case it is short term loan. So short term means 15 days, 1 month, 2 months or like that. So that fund is utilized for working capital purposes. So working capital purposes means actually or refers to operating activity. So decrease in short term loans come under the operating activity. Similarly, increase in current liabilities. Current liability related to day to day even or the for short period of time, so that related to current liabilities, decrease in current assets, they all come under the operating activities. Next one, direct tax paid. Yes, you are correct, because we have already mentioned that direct tax paid means it is tax paid on income. The income comes from the main activity, that is operating income. So tax paid on that operating income is also come under the operating activities. Now proceeds from sale of fixed assets. Yeah, it is sale of fixed assets. Fixed assets is mentioned already, that investing activity. So proceeds means by selling you get cash. So come under the inflow of investing activities. Now proceeds from sale of division. Again, the one branch or one division of a particular company you are selling. So division when acquired or constructed, so that came under the investing activities because you have increased your assets. So similarly by selling you are getting inflow from your investing activities. Next one, realization of loans given to associates and subsidiaries. Yes, it is loan given to associates and subsidiaries. That means it is a way of investment. You invested somewhere money. Now whenever you are realizing that loan you gave earlier, so that is also come under the financing. But in that case financing you are having the positive, means it is inflow. But loan to associates and subsidiaries just opposite, you see. Loan you are giving, so that come under the outflow on account of financing activities because you are financing to somebody. Say last one, just see cash receipts and cash payments of an insurance enterprise for premiums and claims, annuities and other, what type? Yes, it is actually the insurance enterprise. So for insurance enterprise, it is a premium received or the annuities paid, etc. that come under their main activities. So main activities means main operating business. So that would come under operating activity. Friends, today up to that it is okay. Next class we will take the how to prepare cash flow statement from the balance sheet. Whenever you are given balance sheet and you will see 2 years figures are there, first year and second year, then we will see how to compare, and then we can add their certain adjustment entries, say dividend paid or certain sale of assets on profit or loss with these type, or depreciation to be incurred or depreciation occurred. On that way we do explain in our next class how to prepare cash flow statement when you are given balance sheet with certain adjustments. Thank you all of you for your cooperation.